It's week 5, and I'm going to show you how to work through this Hyperdoc. Now, I'm going to give you some inside tips to make sure that you are not spending way too much time on your work. Follow along with me. I'm going to go to Google Classroom. It always opens on Stream, and then I'm going to go to Classwork. When I go to Classwork, log down to week 5. First thing I open, always, is the Hyperdoc to read those directions. When I open the Hyperdoc, you can see, just give me a minute here, that it's going to open, and you could choose to look at the engage section, and that's times where all of these 8th grade teachers have had some kind of disappointment or conflict with their mother, because that's one of the stories we're reading about. The central idea of the story is disappointing your mother. It's interesting, but if you don't have time, then skip that. Down to the blue box, explore. You've got 3 different choices for how you want to read the story rules of the game. You can read it to yourself by opening up the first link to just text. You could listen to me reading it with some visual images, and that's broken down into 3 parts because it is a long story. Or you could listen to Mrs. White read it, also broken into 3 parts, and she stops and thinks out loud about what she's reading to help it make more sense. Once you've done the reading, do a little thinking on your own about what's happening in the story with these guiding questions. And then if you need more help, you can always check these 2 links here. In the next box, that's the explain box. This is where we're going back into Edmentum. Make sure you log in through LCPS Go, and you're going to finish the rest of the slides from last week. So that's slides 23 through 38. I can't say this enough. Do not type answers in the box. Just write the word skip and go to the next slide. You're still going to do multiple choice questions. You're still going to do the drag and drop questions, but do not write your answers in there. I can't see them. No teachers can see what you're writing in there unless we scroll down one by one. It's almost impossible. So my goal is that you just skip right through. And then you're going to take the mastery test for this whole unit that we did last week and this week. Use the study guide. The study guide has everything on it that's in the test, and this is an open note test. The score for the test also will be recorded in Student View. Please take the test by May 5th. Some helpful hints so that you don't get locked out of a test. Plan to do the whole thing in one sitting. So have your study guide out, Edmentum open, just plow through that. The next section is the apply section, and that's where you're going to do a discussion in Google Classroom like we've been doing the entire time. Super important that you respond to someone, otherwise it's not a discussion, it's just a post, and that's kind of stupid. And then also we might be discussing that in Google Meets this week on Thursday. Then the next box is the share box. That's where we talk about the discussion and the Google Meets. And finally, the reflect box, another completion assignment where the score will go into Student View. It's called Week 5 Reflection, and it's in Google Classroom. It should be one of the last things that you do. It's just asking you to reflect on the story and on the week's lesson. If you want to do more, there's always the extend option. Reach out to me and I can make that happen. Have a great week. Bye.